Randall Robinson wrote the foreword to my book. I can't really explain to you who he is. You can Google him. He's an amazing man. He wrote The Debt, and he wrote Quitting America, one of his more popular books. But Randall said to me, the worst thing you can do to a people is to rob them of the memory of themselves. We can't possibly know where we're going if we don't know where we came from. We can't possibly embrace who we are if we cannot honor the shoulders upon which we stand. So the first chapter of my book is called I Don't Even Notice Race. Now, a lot of people of color have heard folks say that to them. Matter of fact, people have offered that to me throughout my life in a way to compliment me. Joy, you know what? I don't even notice that you're black. And I'm going, well, that's interesting, because I do. I wake up every morning and sure enough, there's a black woman staring back at me. You know what I mean? And I wonder about, what is it? And I'm really okay with you noticing that I'm black. So the first thing I have to acknowledge, particularly as a clinician, is number one, the statement isn't true. That's the number one thing. You're telling me an untruth, right? Because you only actually say that to people you notice. White people never say to other people, I don't notice that you're white. They say it to the people they notice, right? So the whole premise is kind of twisted. You following me? So again, a lot of people have an interesting concept of racism. Racism is also a word that everybody gets all twisted about. And I teach a course, like I said, to graduate students on post-traumatic slave syndrome. Now let me explain something. I don't do race relations 101. I don't have time. Now I understand that there may even be people in this room that went, this is an interesting event. I'm going to go to that and support it. Yes, I am. And I'm going to sit and learn, but they have no idea that what they're getting ready to get here. And they may even stop and think to themselves, is it really that bad still? You think? Maybe you people are just overreacting and you may be a little too sensitive. I don't work with them. You can stay in the room, but this is a 600 level course. And people of color that walked into this room walked in at the 600 level, having lived in their skin. So I'm not dealing with the person who's going, do you think? I don't have time. Because there's too many people hemorrhaging for me to even begin to do that. So before I even teach my course, I send, and let me introduce my daughter who's in the audience, Joy's daughter here is Bahia Overton. Could you please stand, Bahia? Yes. She's a ABD, working on her PhD. Very proud of her. Anyway, she's one of my graduate assistants. And before I actually teach my course on post-traumatic, I have my daughter go in and introduce this concept first, just so we can weed out the 101s. Because I'm not going to, the tears, whatever, I can't, no, I can't do it, won't do it, okay? So what ends up happening is I give them the example, I ask them what they understand about race. Now we can see it kind of rolls off the tongue. Racism is a system of advantage based on race. Can you see this well though, by the way? Can you see this? Okay, good. So it's a system of advantage based on race. Rolls off the tongue, pretty straightforward. But people think everybody's on the same page about that. I have never been in an audience where people really get that. Ever, no matter how well educated folks are. So, have her ask a fundamental question. Do you think people in this audience, do you think you have a grasp on, well, let me just say, do you believe that there's something called white racism, or white racism? Show of hands. White racism. Now, I want y'all all turn around. Don't be afeared, there's not going to be no test at the end. How many people believe there's something called white racism? Show of hands. Now look around the room so everybody can see, and you got folks kind of going. Okay, all right, another question. How many people in the room believe there's something called black racism? Show of hands. Okay, look around the room. I want y'all to look around. Okay, so now we're going to, see what I'm saying? We having fun of me. What the heck, wait, is this a trick? What's she doing? Okay, so, not a trick, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so the first column, we're going to talk about white racism because you're going to define it and assess this for yourself. This is why I have my daughter go in. So, white racism, We're going to define that first. I need for you to tell me how white racism adversely impacts the lives of black people as an entire group of people. I'm going to say that again. How is it that white racism adversely impacts the lives of black people in America as an entire group? In what ways? Tell me. Wealth, economics, healthcare, education, privilege, criminal justice. Okay, you're kind of getting it? Okay, good. Okay, so now we're going to talk about, and we can go on. We're going to talk about black racism. I need you to tell me, listen carefully, how black racism adversely impacts the lives of white people in America as an entire group of people. You see the difference? You've answered your question. There is something called black people hating. They can call you names. I hate you, hate you, hate you. I hate, jump up and, matter of fact, let's get all 12% of the black folk. I think they say there's 13% of us now. Let's get all 13% of us hating white people. You still get the loan. You still get the house. You still get, are you following me? So you might have black people that hate white people. You may have black people that maybe affect a white person. But racism not only implies I don't like it, but I have the power to impact you as an entire group. That's the difference. Now at this point I have folks going, what is she trying to say? I'm just telling you what it is.